Hey everybody, Jace Allen here. Welcome back to Jace Allen Music. It's time for another cheap guitar review. So if you've been watching the channel, you know that I have a tendency to buy and review fairly inexpensive guitars. And today I'm reviewing a Stratocaster style guitar that I got off of Amazon from a company called GearIT. Not a real great name for a music supply company, but they sell cables and a few different guitars and some things like that. So let's check them out on Amazon real quick. This is the guitar right here from GearIT. And it claims that it's a ash body, coil tap pickups, so it's a humbucker and 2 single coils, and Rosewood Fretboard. And it comes with a tuner and a gig bag, so we've got it here. So let's check it out and see how it sounds. Okay, so here it is. It actually came in a bigger box than this. This was inside of a bigger box with a bunch of those blow-up plastic pillows like in it. I guess they really don't want anything to happen to it, but it comes in your standard wedge shaped box. Lots of foam inside of it, that's good. So the first thing we got is a bag with a bunch of stuff in it. So you've got your clip-on tuner that came with it. Oh, they actually sent another package of strings. That's kind of interesting. And then looks like a fairly decent cable. A lot of the guitars come with a cable, but the cable's usually, oh, this one's actually not bad. This one's actually pretty good looking. Let's see what else. Strap, not real great strap. And then some Allen wrenches and a bunch of picks. Actually decent picks. Well, they're all pretty thin. These would be good for acoustic. These are pretty thin, but. And then a tremolo bar and a little, another pick. There's like 5, 6, 7 picks in here. And your instruction manual. Oh, explains the split coil. That's kind of nice. And okay, so, and it came in a gig bag, which usually they're not that great either, but we'll see. One thing I'm interested in is packaging. This one actually have foam in the bottom and the top to keep it from getting damaged if it gets dropped on its end. But then again, like I said, it was in another box. That box was in a bigger box. So okay, so here's the bag. It's a decent bag. I mean, it's not, they don't put a lot of padding in them, so it's, but it'd be good for just carrying it to your gig, whatever. Oh, and it's wrapped inside this too. So it's wrapped again in that plastic bag. And it's heavy. This is a heavy guitar. It's an ash body, so it's obviously going to be heavier than maybe basswood, but this is pretty heavy for even for an ash body. And it's got a piece of foam over the switch. So there it is. Pretty nice finish. It's a silver metallic, or well, a charcoal, like a charcoal metallic finish on it. And yeah, it's heavy compared to my Firefly. I don't know, I'd say they're pretty close in weight. I think this was ash also, or alder. I'm not sure which. So this guitar was, I think it's on sale because it says typical price $138, but Amazon does weird things the way they advertise the prices. So it was $98.59 with free shipping. Took a few days to get. This is a nice looking guitar. I like the humbucker with the plate over it. That's kind of cool. I don't know that it does anything for the sound. Let's get a little closer in here. And your typical 5-way switch. Like I said, it's got a push-pull. So this knob here is a push-pull for the split coil. So they can turn that humbucker into a single coil. So it's an ash body, maple neck, actual rosewood fretboard. It's actually a really pretty fretboard. And as seems to be the case lately, these cheaper guitars are coming with these rounded fret ends, just like the Firefly. So I don't know if you can, I'm going to try to get a better shot of this. But those are really nice rounded fretboards. One of the criticisms of the imported guitars is that the fret ends are really super sharp, and these are like super smooth. So let's see, your truss rod adjustment is in the top. It's got the 2-point tremolo on it, so not the 5 screws or whatever. And then it's got the cast saddles, not the bent saddles like I think the Firefly. Yeah, the Firefly's got the bent steel saddles on them, which I kind of like the bent saddles, but. And then the nut might be plastic. It's hard to say. Nice finish on the neck. You get some of the guitars that are really super cheap, and I don't even think they finish the neck at all. But this has got a nice gloss finish on it. And this one's got a serial number. Made in China, of course. Just a stamped logo on the headstock. Tuners are these vintage style tuners. I like those tuners, but I don't know, these might be, we'll see how nice those are. And then these are the older style buttons. The Firefly has the newer style strap buttons on them. I tend to use the rubber strap lock anyway. Okay, we'll tune it up. Might as well use the tuner that we got with it. See how that is. It's actually a decent tuner, so. Okay, we got it plugged in. Intonation seems pretty good on it. I think it sounds pretty good. Yeah, frets are good. Frets are, and they feel smooth. They don't feel gritty like some of them. Let's try this split coil out. So let me find a clean channel here. I'm going through the Morgan Amps suite. This is by Neural Amps. It's pretty nice doubler. So there we go. that's the middle position. This is all the way up. That's all the way down, I guess you could say, on the. So that's the coil tap, and then this is the humbucker. Yeah. Wow. So there you go. GearIT. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I'm not sure what to say about these cheap guitars anymore, because every single one that comes in that I play, I mean, they sound fine. They sound great. These are, I don't think these are Alnico, but they sound really good. The humbucker sounds pretty good. I mean, they're not amazing sounding pickups. You could probably switch them out. I mean, switching through the, the switch between the pickups didn't really seem to affect the tone much at all on this one. So these might even be the same, wiring. So that could be why it sounds the same. Just kind of sounds generic. I mean, if you put different pickups in it, you might get a little bit different tone out of it. Maybe a little bit brighter tone. They seem a little low, like on the low end, but I mean, it's a guitar. I mean, there's only so much you can do with a slab of wood and some, metal and wire. The tuners on it, I think, these aren't great. These are pretty cheap, these tuners. The low E's got a little bit of slop to it. But, I mean, you could easily upgrade those. They're not as good. I mean, the Firefly came with the locking tuners. Those tuners are just incredible. And I like the roasted neck on the Firefly, too. And it's got the mother pearl or the abalone inlays for the dots, where this is just the plastic, supposed to be mother pearl, I guess. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. Let me try. I never try the tremolo. I don't know why I don't. I'm not a big tremolo player, but let's try that out just to see what. So you can actually pull back on it too. It's floating pretty good. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not very good with that, but it feels good. I mean, like I said, it's a 2-point tremolo. I think it's got a small block in it, though. Yeah, it does. It's got the thinner block. I don't know if that makes a difference. Some people claim it does with the sustain or something, but whatever. I notice this one's pretty quiet too. It's not, I could turn it up. I mean, there's a noise gate on here, but let me turn that off and see if that, I mean, it's pretty quiet. Some guitars, you get a lot of hum from some of the really, really cheap guitars. So I'd be interested to see if this is insulated inside here too. It might be. So yeah, okay. Anyway, that's it. This is the GearIT Stratocaster style guitar. Less than $100 on Amazon. It's pretty incredible how cheap these are. I think it's a race to the bottom. I think these Chinese companies are just trying to outdo each other, and I think they must go on the forums and the Facebook groups and everything and see the comments that people are making about the fret ends and this Firefly company. I think they've kind of changed changed the standard of quality for how cheaply guitar is made, because they're pretty incredible. And I've never heard of this company before. I just saw it on the internet a couple days ago, so I ordered it because it was less than $100 and I just had to see it, see if it was worth it. Plus it was ash. It's an ash body, and I like guitars with the ash body. They're heavier, they sit better in your lap, they sit better on a strap, there's no neck dive. If you want to mod them, the screws aren't going to strip out like they do. Basswood is notorious. It's so soft that you run the screws in and out of it a few times, and you got to fill a hole and re-drill it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a nice looking neck. It's got some of that. Look at the flaming. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, see, look at. You can see it in the camera there. Look at the flame in it. How nice that is. It's pretty sweet. It's got a kind of that vintage yellowish look. I like the roasted nicks. Those are pretty sweet looking. But so yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's it's just getting harder and harder to buy these things and review them because there's really no difference between them. I really should get a like a made in Mexico Strat, or maybe even an American made Strat, and compare them, because somebody online just totally, they basically said I didn't know what I was talking about that these cheap guitars, a guitar less than $200 can't possibly be any good, is the argument that this dude made. And I don't know. It's like he says, "Oh, I'm a guitar tech, and I get these Fireflies in all the time, and I have to fix them and do all that stuff." And it's like, I don't know. I'm not getting kickbacks from these companies. I just buy these with my own money, and I've played a lot of guitars. If you look at the reviews, you'll see that I played an American Strat, the Bonnie Raitt signature Strat. That was made in the 90s, probably before the CNC machines were in large use. And I played a plus top made in Mexico Strat, and I had a Les Paul Studio made in USA, Les Paul Studio. And what else did I have that was sort of a higher end? I forget, I'd have to go through my videos and look, but so it's not like I don't have a point of reference for these guitars. I've played other guitars. I'm not saying I'm the world's foremost expert on guitars, but I know a decent guitar when I hold on to it and play it. I mean, there's not really much difference between this and the Fenders, but people get all offended when you talk about how good these cheap guitars are. I don't know why. Maybe because they spent it 10 times. I mean, literally, if you go to Fender's website right now and look at an American-made Strat, the vintage, I think it's the vintage series or whatever, like $1,300 for a guitar. This thing was less than $100. So those things are literally more than 10 times the cost of this thing. And this thing sounds great. And for $200, you could update the pickups in it. Yeah, it's like you can't go wrong with one of these if you're, I mean, I'm not knocking people that buy expensive guitars. I mean, if you can afford it, heck, buy it, whatever. I don't really care. I mean, I play what I think sounds good, and the fact that I don't make a living playing music, and I'm not buying guitars as an investment. I buy guitars because I want to play them and So anyway, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. And tell me what you think in the comments. I always like to hear what people have to say, good or bad. I've been called a lot of things over the past couple months because now that I'm up around almost 6,000 subscribers, you get some people that aren't very nice about their comments, but hey, whatever. Everybody's got their own opinion. And I get a lot of criticism for the titles that I put on the shorts because I do this sort of a clickbait-ish title, but it really helps grab people's attention. It's hard to get people to stop when there's a bazillion videos out there, especially videos about guitars and things like that. But and I'm not a phenomenal player, so I can't like wow everybody with my skill and my amazing speed and talent. So I'm good at talking, which you've noticed. So anyway, I appreciate everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time. J Salem Music. Thanks for tuning in.